Good morning, everyone. Jane has chosen the Holy Mother, written by Grace Cook, who is the founder of White Eagle Lodge. In the midst of far distant time, humanity first learned to worship God as the Mother, the giver of life and the source for continuation of life, because without the Mother, life would of itself become extinct. The reproductive powers throughout nature, and especially in animals and in human beings, were venerated as the Creator made manifest. So long as female power and influence were in the ascendancy, the creative force was regarded as embodying the principles of the female nature. Later, however, when women's power waned and men became supreme, the God idea began gradually to assume the male characteristics and attributes. Nothing, however, alters the fact that the female was the first thought of as the visible organic unit within whom was contained the exclusive creative power. For women's functions in those days were accounted as of more importance than those of man, and God was more often worshipped under a female form. To the universal mother, and to her as to no other divinity, since worship by mankind was offered a spontaneity of devotion and a willing acknowledgement of dependence. The children of Mother Earth met in the open air without the precincts of any man-made shrine, and under the canopy of heaven acknowledged the bounties of the great deity and their dependence upon her gifts. She was conceived of as beneficent and all-wise deity, a tender and loving parent. Arising out of this, in the process of time, the heavens, bodily and spiritual, came to be worshipped under the form of a mother and her child, this being the highest expression of a creator which the human mind was able to conceive. The fact has been observed that the or the was originally a female deity. In yogic practice, the Great Mother, or Kundalini, was worshipped in the source of all light and wisdom, being likened to the sleeping serpent, which, at last awakened to activity, brings to man all knowledge and divine illumination. God the Mother, from long ages past and even up to the present day, has been worshipped as the Holy Mother, and from antiquity has been portrayed with the Holy Child in her arms. Some of the ancient standing stones, both in Britain and Babe, Mary, the mother of Jesus, thus becomes a continuation of the belief and the worship of the ancients. Thus, from the earliest conception of God, the symbol of the mother and child has evolved in man's expanding spiritual consciousness into a more lovely picture of the Madonna with the Christ child. It may well be asked, is this merely a religious symbol, or is there such a heavenly being as Holy Mother, the mother of the world? If this is so, then how does she appear? Is she a living personality, and can her presence and her influence be felt on earth? We will answer the last question first. There have been many seers and visionaries who claim to have seen the Holy Mother. Notable amongst them is Bernadette, the young French girl whose vision of Our Lady was overwhelming and convincing, not only to the seer herself, but to many people, including the church dignitaries who witnessed the miraculous healings, and the reigning king and queen of France, whose child was also cured of disease by the waters of Lourdes. It was because Bernadette saw the Divine Mother in the grotto as Lourdes and strictly obeyed her guidance that the healing waters were commenced to flow and have continued ever since that time, with the result that great numbers of sick, lame and blind have been healed and are still being healed through the appearance of Our Lady to Bernadette. The presence of the Holy Mother has often been felt by women during the birth of their babes, and she is also present at the time of death.